Life is not a straight road. It is a journey filled with unexpected turns, painful losses, and moments that test the strength of our spirit. Everyone experiences failure, disappointment, and days when everything seems to fall apart. But what truly defines a person is not how many times they fall, it is how many times they choose to rise again. To rise again means refusing to let defeat become your final chapter. It means standing up when your heart feels heavy, when the world doubts you, and when your own mind whispers that giving up would be easier. The greatest stories of success are not stories of people who never struggled. They are stories of people who were knocked down many times, but found the courage to stand up again. Rising again is not about pretending the pain never happened. It is about learning from the pain, growing stronger because of it, and using it as fuel to move forward. Every sunrise is proof of a powerful truth. Darkness never lasts forever, and neither does failure. The story, Rise Again. In a small, quiet town lived a young man named Michael. Michael grew up with big dreams. He wanted to build something meaningful with his life. While many of his friends were satisfied with ordinary paths, Michael believed he was meant for something greater. But believing in a dream and achieving it are two very different things. Michael's first attempt at success came when he started a small business. He invested everything he had, his savings, his time, and his hope. For months, he worked day and night, but the business failed. The money was gone, the customers stopped coming, and the dream he once believed in seemed to collapse overnight. People around him began to whisper, maybe he aimed too high. Maybe he's not meant for success. Maybe he should just give up. Michael felt the weight of those words. For the first time in his life, he doubted himself. Failure has a strange way of making the world feel smaller. Michael stopped trying new things. He avoided his friends. He spent long nights wondering if the people who doubted him were right. One evening, sitting alone in his small room, he looked at the notebook where he once wrote his dreams. The pages were filled with goals, ideas, and plans. Now they felt like reminders of everything that had gone wrong. He almost closed the notebook forever, but something inside him refused to die. A small voice in his heart whispered, "This is not the end." The next morning, Michael made a decision that changed everything. He would rise again. Not because it was easy, not because he was sure he would succeed, but because giving up would mean accepting a life that was smaller than the one he believed he could build. He started small. He began reading books about business, mindset, and self-discipline. He woke up earlier each day. He learned from his mistakes instead of running from them. While others were sleeping, Michael was studying. While others were relaxing, he was building new skills. Progress was slow. Some days felt like nothing was changing. But deep down, something powerful was happening. Michael was becoming stronger. After 2 years of preparation, Michael started again. This time, he was wiser, more careful, more disciplined. The new business started well. Customers returned. Money slowly began to grow. But then another challenge appeared. A financial crisis hit the town, and many businesses were forced to close, including Michael's. For the second time in his life, everything collapsed. The pain was even heavier this time. Many people would have stopped right there. 2 failures felt like proof that success was not meant for them. But Michael remembered something he had learned during his journey. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. So he stood up again. Years passed. Michael kept learning. He kept improving. He kept rising. Every failure became a teacher. Every mistake became experience. Every setback became strength. And slowly, something amazing began to happen. His third business succeeded. Then it grew. Then it expanded. People who once doubted him started asking for his advice. But Michael never forgot the nights of struggle, the pain of failure, or the moments when giving up seemed easier. Because those moments shaped the person he had become. One day, a young man approached Michael and asked him a question. "How did you become successful?" Michael smiled. He didn't talk about money. He didn't talk about business strategies. Instead, he said something simple. "I learned how to rise again." Success was not built on his victories. It was built on his refusal to stay down. Everyone will fall. Everyone will experience loss, rejection, and moments when hope feels distant. But those moments do not define your future. Your response does. Rising again does not require perfect strength. It only requires one more attempt, one more step, one more day of believing in yourself. Because every time you stand up after falling, you become stronger than before. And eventually, persistence turns impossible dreams into reality.
Powerful quotes about rising again. Your greatest power is not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall. Failure can break your plans, but it can never break your spirit unless you allow it. Every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. When life knocks you down, remember this: the ground is not your home, it is only where you gather the strength to stand again. Rise again, even if your voice shakes, even if your steps are small, even if the world doubts you. Because the people who change their lives are not the ones who never fall, they are the ones who never stop rising.